Hello and welcome to the Gary Dunn Show for October 28th, 2019. I'm your host, Gary Smith. And on today's show, and if you're an avid viewer of the Gary Dunn Show, like every show, we're going to talk to Coach Dunn about this past weekend's matchup against PSAC West opponent Mercyhurst. Then we're going to look at highlights, and then we're going to talk about this upcoming week's opponent, Slippery Rock, and then we're going to look at the score standings and everything else pertaining to PSAC West football. But Coach, it seems like a broken record, but it always seems like I'm saying, hey, it's, beginning of summer, it's at the beginning of the season, end of September, end of October. It's end of October now.
It's unbelievable. The season is absolutely flying by. I said a couple weeks ago, felt like we just got here. But happy Halloween to the folks up here at CUTV, right? Halloween week.
Yeah, we might have to get you on Tom's show on Thursday if you have some time. We're shooting at 10:30 in the morning, so come on up. But we can dress you up on. You'll see Thursday. It's just off to the side here. Halloween set for our talk show, Caton's Corner. But Coach. As you said, it's hard to believe it's the end of October, and that end of October brought another game deeper into the PSAC West play, and this week's opponent, Mercyhurst, the team that always seems, since they joined the conference, always seems to have been a tough game for California. And this year was no different. They played tough for 4 quarters, and it was a back-and-forth game for pretty much the entire afternoon.
Yeah, give Mercyhurst a lot of credit. Got a lot of respect for their staff and what they do in their program. They came in here with a good plan against us. It seemed like in the first half we were talking they really controlled the ball. Our defense played well, and I thought our offense played well at halftime, but we were only up 7-0. We had 4 possessions in the first half. We scored on the first one. We get another long drive down, don't pick up a 4th and 1, give Mercyhurst credit on that. They had a nice call, kind of outnumbered us in the box, went cover 0 and stopped us there, and then we missed a field goal at the end of the half. I felt like the offense was moving the ball and playing well, but it was 7-0 at halftime there, and our defense played really well. Mercyhurst's scheme is a little bit different than everybody else in the league. They like to do a lot of motions, a lot of shifts, a lot of two-back stuff. Don't see a whole lot of that anymore. So our defense, their communication I thought was good all day and really ran to the football, and I'm sure we'll talk about it, created some turnovers, which was huge for us.
Yeah, once again, the turnover streak or the interception streak goes on. A trio of interceptions this week. And it just seemed like you said, the defense was flying around, but there were 3 interceptions, 3 different situations. One, it looked like it was a jumped route. One looked like the pass was thrown right into the face mask of one of your linemen and hung on to it. And then towards the end of the game, and Mercer was trying to come back, a nice leaping interception by Jamal Martin Jr. But 3 different ways just shows how dangerous that defense is.
That D-line loves to get those interceptions. You don't get too many opportunities as a D-lineman, so that was a nice play. Aaron Brown made a nice break on the ball, and then Jamal Martin's playing really well for us at corner right now, and had an interference call a little bit early, but that's kind of the defense we play. We're going to get up and challenge folks, and he was impressed that. They tried going back to it, made a nice play on the ball.
Well, you can always tell when a defensive lineman gets an interception because he got tackled, and you can see on I don't know if it's on the highlights, but definitely on the game rebroadcast that didn't know how to celebrate there for a couple seconds. I think checking to see if he had the ball, and then he figured out the celebration.
Jordan Scarborough made a nice play on that. He made some big plays Saturday. He's coming along.
Now on Saturday, it was one of those games. It was tight 7-0, and then Noah Mitchell went down. The team went down, scored on that after that interception. But I thought the team did a great job of rallying around Josh Dell and came out and scored a couple quick touchdowns to put Mercyhurst away. But that middle of that third quarter was kind of intense.
Yeah, thought we took a step as a program. Our guys have all year battled for each other, and I was out there with Noah when he went down, and just the defense, what they were saying to him, picking him up, and then it really just kind of energized everybody. We got the ball back, obviously hit Nelson on the long screen. Great effort by a lot of guys on that play, Nelson included, broke a couple tackles, and then you see Tyson Hill getting out in front and Derek Caraway getting out in front to throw blocks, and that was a big play. And we got confidence in Josh. Josh came in, and I believe it was the next play we threw. We called an all-go route, and Tyson went up and made a play and got in the end zone. So, they took the lead there 8-7 for I don't know how long. I think 3
or 4 plays.
We scored. Yeah, we scored 2 touchdowns in 3 plays, I think, to take the lead back. And then, our defense makes a big goal line stand there at the end. 4th and probably half a yard. Great effort on that. Jeremy Page, Jermaine Stevens, Aaron Brown, a host of guys in there keeping them out of the end zone. And then the offense did an incredible job digging that ball out and changing field position. We get it on the minus half-yard line, dig it out to midfield. Joey Hood hits a nice punt to pin him down inside the 20. We get the ball back again because our defense makes a stand, and then we grind it out with Nelson Brown, who Jamoria Cousins started that drive and was getting good yards, and then Nelson came in and kind of iced it off, and we didn't throw. I think our last 15 plays were run plays, which was, give the O-line credit for icing that game.
Yeah, we were looking at, when that game was happening, I was looking at the clock when we got it back. I think it was like 8.5 minutes left, and then after Nelson Brown scored a touchdown, I think there was like maybe a minute and a half, 2 minutes. So that is just great work by the offensive line just to get out there, get the blocks, and also, Nelson Brown, PSAC West Offensive Player of the Week with, long touchdown catch and long touchdown run. So he's just chugging along. But that was one of the most impressive drives I've seen, because in that situation, still Mercyhurst, it was only a play or two, but that offense just said no. This game's over, slamming the door shut.
Really, in the fourth quarter there, after the goal line stand, you could see the energy on our sideline when we scored the first touchdown on the screen. Our kickoff team went out and set the tone on that, and then our defense is fired up, and really, I thought we took a step. Our energy was different. It was, we're doing this thing together, and happy for the guys that it worked out.
Well, and it did work out on Saturday. We're going to take a look at those highlights from a drizzly Saturday afternoon against Mercyhurst, and then after the break, we'll look at last year's game against Slippy Rock, who's this upcoming week's opponent. You're watching the Gary Dunn Show right here live on CUTV and also live on CUTV Sports 1.
Here's Mitchell. He's looking to throw across the middle, and he hits his target. That's going to be a touchdown, Vulcans. Derek Caraway back once again for more. Here's the kick, and this one's blocked. It's up in the air. California's going to let it fall, and that will be a great special teams effort here for them. First and 10 coming up from the Cal U 40. It's going to be empty backfield for Altavias. He's going to throw an interception to who else but Lamont McFadder. There he goes. Across the 40. I take that back. Thought I saw a 7. Turns out it was a 2 instead. But it's going to go to Aaron Brown. Here it is. Back to throw. Looking for this one across the middle. It's going to be intercepted by California. Right place, right time grab there. Altavia's got it low. He's looking to throw this one towards the end zone, going across the middle, and there it is. Touchdown, Lakers. They get themselves onto the board. Dale drops back to throw this one in a 4-wide look. He's going to dump it off in screen fashion to Brown. Brown jumps over a couple. Brown still on his feet, continuing to push forward. A couple more to beat. He's across midfield. Here he goes, 45-40, 35-30, 25-20, 15-10. 5 into the end zone. Nelson Brown. Touchdown, Vulcans. Dale drops back to throw this one. Going long with this one down the field. Has Hill. Hill to the outside. That's Sugar out. Tyson Hill has this one. 10-5. Touchdown, Vulcans. Here's the first down coming up once again. Going long. And it's going to be intercepted by California. Jamal Martin Jr. turns around and snags that one. That's going to be Brown once again going to the outside rather than the inside this time. He's still on his feet across the 20. He's to the 15, 10, 5. Dodges a couple and he's into the end zone. Once again, touchdown, Vulcans.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Consider the future. Your future. At California University of Pennsylvania, you can build your life your way because we believe in you. We invest in you, empower you to create the future you envision. We give you the tools and teaching so you can rise up and achieve. Don't settle for someone else's vision of you. Build you at CalU. Visit us at calu.edu.
Taylor making his way up the field here. A lot of space up on that field here. Nobody around. He's got one man to beat. He's got to beat Jake Chaplin. He's heading the whole way down the field. Rivers has this one. It's going to be a handoff to Hills. Hills breaking towards that far side, and he is into the end zone. Rivers dropping back to throw this one. He's feeling the pressure, is trying to roll out. Falls out as London Cloud strips it from the backside. California falls on it. We hand off to Brown once again. Brown plowing towards that outside, and he finds his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Vulcans. Rivers, a little bit of a low snap, able to hold on to that one. He surveys, looking for a man. Rolls out to the far side, still looking for a man here. California pressure, forced to get rid of this one. It's going to be intercepted. Up the middle here for West Hills. West Hills breaking towards that pylon, slices and dices and makes his way into the end zone for a rock touchdown. Mitchell drops back, throws this one. It's going to be intercepted by the rock here. Eric Glover-Williams charging for the end zone, and that one is in. It will be a touchdown for the Rock. We have to Brown. Brown barreling his way forward, still staying on his feet, heading towards that end zone. He's got one man to beat, shagged off him, and it is a touchdown for the Vulcans. Rivers with the handoff to West Hills. West Hills pushing his way towards the end zone, and he tumbles on in there for a Rock touchdown. Here's Mitchell. He's looking to throw.
Gary Dunn show right here on CUTV and CUTV Sports Live on both platforms today. I'm Gary Smith along with Coach Dunn. And Coach, we just saw highlights of last year's game against Slippery Rock, and it seems like, once again, a broken record. This is a big game every year, and it's a huge game this year. A lot is riding on this game, PSAC and everything like that. But as always, I know you've looked at a lot of film on them so far. Probably more film than anything else, but how do they look?
They're really, really good. Good senior quarterback that's very dynamic and hurts you running the ball, throwing the ball. I think he's leading just about everything in stats right now. They got some really explosive receivers, some fast tailbacks, and they're big up front. So offensively, I don't even know what they're averaging, close to 50 points a game, and really, really playing well, taking care of the football. They're very tough to defend. They make you defend the entire field. They've got speed. They're powerful. They're just a solid offense. Flip over the defensive side of the ball, very aggressive style defense. They're going to play man coverage, get up in your face, and say you can't beat us. So we're going to have our work cut out for a very talented team, well coached, play extremely hard. They're 8-0 or 9-0, whatever they are, for a reason. They're a very solid team.
And going into this game, I mean, most weeks when the PSAC, a lot of the stadiums are similar, but Slippery Rock is one of the few teams in the PSAC, few stadiums that is a really big home field advantage. How, like, in preparation, what are you trying to instill in your players? Because it's a big stadium, and last time we were there, it was a packed crowd, went to overtime. But do you address that, or is it just kind of like keep your head down? Or
yeah, we're going to worry about us. We're gonna hopefully have a great week of work, and that's where it all starts with our preparation. We get our guys are off on Sunday. They'll come back in today at 3 o'clock for a meeting. We'll have a great meeting, correct our mistakes from last weekend, and learn from some of those things that happened, and then we'll move on. We'll go to the field tonight at 6 o'clock and focus on a lot of special teams. We'll break up, do some offense and defense, but for us, it's about our week of work, and it's about us taking care of. The only way we play our best is if we have great preparation the entire week. it's a big game because it's the next one. You know, we play one game schedule here every week, and it happens to be Slippery Rock this week, but it's all about our preparation this week.
And this week's game will be 1 o'clock at Slippery Rock. So not this week more than ever, make sure to don your red and black and come on up because, like I said, it's a different atmosphere up at Slippery Rock, and it's great. I know last time we were there was a night game, and both sides of the stadium were packed. And this is a big game. It's chance to tie Slippery Rock in the PSAC West as we're coming down to the last 2 weeks of divisional play. And as Coach said, it's a one-game schedule, and we're going to take a look at some standings and scores and try and wrap up everything to put everything in perspective for this one-game schedule. This past weekend, we'll put a bow on the PSAC West scoreboards. We saw Cal U, and I mistyped that this morning. It actually should be 27-15.
A little closer than I thought.
Yeah, well, like I said, I had a shaving cream on my glasses for most of the morning. So Slippery Rock over Clarion. That game was close until the second half, and then Slippery Rock pulled away, winning 41-6. Edinburgh 37-10 over Seton Hill, and then IUP over Gannon 35-0. And switching over to the PSAC East, Westchester and East Stroudsburg. That was a game that was close, and also noted for PSAC record field goals made in that game by the East Stroudsburg kicker, a 56-yarder, which is at that stadium. It was always windy at Westchester, so that's a heck of a kick by that young man. Bloomsburg all over Lockhaven 54-27. Shepherd over Millersville 34-10, and then Kutztown over Shippensburg. If you bet on fives in that game, you probably won a heck of a lot of money, 55-5. You don't often see a 5 on one side, but seeing it twice is kind of interesting. But after those results, let's take a look how everything shakes out in the PSAC West and East. And of course, we can see Slippery Rock, IUP, Cal U all fighting. That's what makes this game so huge. 5-1, 4-1, 4-1. And then if we flip over to the PSAC East, Kutztown 5-1, 4-0, or 5-0, 4-1, 4-1. So pretty similar.
Yeah, very similar.
Yeah, very similar. And that's why the PSAC is such a good and tough league. There's no
games this weekend. I think Kutztown and Westchester play out on that side. And
Coach knows the drill. Let's look at the schedule. We've been talking about it. Let's look at the schedule this week. And 2 monumental games, of course, the Cal U Slippery Rock game, but down there Kutztown at Westchester. So a lot to be decided with 2 weeks left of divisional play, both in the East and the West. And of course, the PSAC championship game will be played in 2 weeks on November 16th. So whoever's in first place in the East and the West, and hopefully on our side it's going to come down to a coin flip because that's what the tiebreaker is. Well, I believe. I mean, I know there's more, but it's always
a lot of work to do before we start talking about that.
That's true. That's true, and also in the East. So make sure you keep checking out the PSAC website, CUTV, and also the Cal U Sports Information Office. Matt Kiefer and Alex King and his staff do a great job of keeping everybody informed with game notes and everything like that. But Coach, this week, we talked about it's a big game, 1 o'clock at Slippery Rock. What's your pitch to get people donning their red and black?
I know we're going to have a lot of alumni there. I know a lot of guys have reached out to me already and said that they're going to be there. I know we'll travel well. It's probably our second closest away game. I know we'll travel well. We need Vulcan Nation there to support us. Hopefully some students will come up. It'll be a nice afternoon. It's we've talked about it years past. These rivalry games in this league, everyone's a rivalry game. You got to show up every week to play, but it's unfortunately in Division I football you don't have that anymore. And so this is our guys know their guys know our guys, coaches know each other. So it's a good game.
Now, for you, Coach, I mean, we've talked about before since you played in the conference, everything like that, and I know you say it's a 1 week schedule, but do you ever get just feel a little bit more juice with some certain teams like Slippery Rock? Like I said, you played and coached against them for years.
Yeah, every week in this league's a grind. We saw that last week with Mercyhurst. We saw it a few weeks ago with Edinburgh. I mean, it's a grind every week. So, this one doesn't mean any more than the last one. So, I look forward to playing every one of these games from being in this league and being a player in this league. And of course, it was different back then. Edinburgh was really, really good when I played. Slippery Rock was really good. IUP was really good. So to me, they're all rivalry games.
And so another rivalry game this week, 1 o'clock. But before we go, this week's Halloween, and we ran a very quick Coach Dunn Coaches Show Halloween contest for the outfit right there. And you see you have 2 Coach Dunns right there, Coach, and then your young daughter also dressing up and great.
Yeah.
I think she has all the details correct. She has the headset, she has the hat, she has the red and black and white. So
Yeah, she had a card with her too, with because I always carry a card on the sideline with the schedule and then the officials and what officials are where on the back, and she had that. And we go out to dinner on Fridays at home games as a family, and I walked into the restaurant, and that's how she was dressed. So she got a lot of creativity. I should have known the night before. She said, "Dad, what should I be for Halloween?" And I, we're in football season at my house, so I wasn't spending a lot of time on thinking about her costume, but. Yeah, she got a good kick out of that, and she has me down to a T, that's for sure.
like I said, the attention to detail, and she's going to win the first annual Gary Dunn Show Halloween costume
She actually
contest.
got that idea, one of my former players, a few years ago. That was his Halloween costume, and I ended up seeing it on Twitter. I didn't know about it until I saw it on social media, so she stole the idea from Austin Jacobs.
Well, I mean, the game on Saturday is only 2 days after Halloween, so maybe red and black, dress up like Coach Dunn. Let's get a bunch of Coach Dunns in the audience. But it's great to see. Like I said, she had it down to a T, and she's going to win first place this year. So congratulations,
Awesome.
Sid.
Yeah.
But that's it for this week. So, Coach, good luck this weekend.
Appreciate it.
We'll be up there. If you can't make it to the game, CUTV and WCAO have you covered. The game will be live on CUTV Sports 1 and live on 91.9 FM WCAO. And again, if those two mediums can't satisfy your needs, make sure to go on to calvulcans.com, and Matt and his staff will have the live stat link up there as well. So no excuse not to be in tune to this week's big matchup against Slippery Rock. So, Coach, good luck this weekend. We'll see you on the sideline. And for everybody else, hope to see a big contingent of red and black up at Slippery Rock. So for Coach Dunn, I'm Gary Smith. You're watching The Gary Dunn Show right here on CUTV and CUTV Sports 1.